So I've been wondering, why am I feeling so anxious before going to bed? I actually have all these thoughts that are coming into my head, which might not even be mine. And all these thoughts are actually preventing me from sleeping. So I'm pretty sure most of you guys also feel this as well. And it's almost as if it's designed by the system to keep you anxious in order to make you want something that you do not need. In other words, something that you will never be able to attain, but you are always chasing after it. And after thinking it through, I basically boiled it down to two things, right? Why are we living so anxiously? I think number one would be because we would never be debt free. In a sense, because nowadays, if you want to purchase a house, you would need to take a mortgage. And that makes you basically a mortgage slave for the next 25 years or more. And with the rising cost of inflation, you're also battling with the cost of inflation. So these two combination makes you always worrying about the future. But this part is something that I feel we can't really control in a sense, which is why I would like to talk about the second part. So the second part that makes us anxious in a way is because it's designed to be that way. We live in a attention economy. And what do I mean by that is basically hundreds and billions of dollars, right, are being put into marketing efforts just to get you wanting something that you don't really need. And all these marketing that are being poured, right, into your faces are done by companies just to get market share. It's just to get their brand out there. And something weird about this is that it's not even related to direct profits, right? It's related to trying to just get your attention by whatever cost is that's possible. And this is something that I realized after actually sort of a life detox, in a way that if you have been away from an urban city, right? Maybe you go on to some rural area or somewhere that there is no signboards or anything. If you have been living that life for maybe a month or so, and you start to come back to the city area, that's when you will start to realize that everything around you is advertisements. Everything around you is trying to get your attention. And you don't really realize this because right now we are all living in it. So somewhat we would be accustomed to it. But it was a terrifying feeling after coming back to the city area, where it almost got me anxious because the lights, everything is just in your face. It was in my face, and it got me thinking. That's the reason why I am anxious. And if you dig a little bit deeper into it, even the phone that you're holding on right now, right? Every single notification, every single colors of your app that you're using is designed on purpose. Is related to psychology and is there to actually get your attention. And when everything around you is just there to get your attention, nothing belongs to you. And when your time don't belongs to you, that's where you start to feel sort of this anxiousness that's coming in. So it's a combination of two different factors as well, right? Number one, it's basically advertisements all around you that's stealing away your attention. Number two is the time do not belong to you anymore. It belongs to these companies. So obviously the best thing to do is to get rid of social media and get rid of your phone. But that's not possible in it, right? So what we can do is just limit the use of your social media usage. And of course, even I will consider even YouTube as a social media usage. So it's really very hard to get rid of all these apps that you're using right now. So if there are things that, for example, your Instagram, you can cut it off by actually just uninstalling on your phone and installing it on your laptop instead. I mean, you can't install Instagram on your laptop, but you can access Instagram on your laptop. So if you need to reply to your friends or family, you can do so. And with the limited usage of your apps, right, you will start to realize that you're no longer comparing to other people, right? Other people post on the best things of their life, You're no longer comparing to the best moment of your life. And even so, you're also not comparing yourself to getting the things that other people are having. So that's all part of companies marketing their products, right? It's all about making you feel a certain way. And they make you feel that you need that product, you need their product in order to feel happy. And this is the thing about consumerism. Once you get rid of social media, most of the marketing that are being poured in there are no longer in your face. And that's where you will feel less anxious. It's because of consumerism that's the reason why you are feeling this way. And that's the thing basically that I am wanting to talk about, and how social media has really caused, in a way, the anxiety and the anxious, most of it. And this is something that we can control on however we would like in our lives, right? We can remove that portion out of our life. And maybe yes, we would still be anxious, we still have anxiety over the first part of being in debt for the rest of life, right? We would worry about that. But getting rid of the part that makes you anxious because of consumerism is one way to actually help you improve your life. I would say so. You would improve majority of it actually, because there's no way in we can live our life being anxious all the time. When you live your life anxious 24/7 and it causes you to not be able to have a good night's rest, you're basically living. It almost feels like I'm taking the life force from my future. When you have a bad night's rest, you're basically taking life force from your future, right? Something you're sacrificing your future just for the current moment, just for all these thoughts. They're probably not even yours, and thoughts that can be controlled. So social media in a way is far more dangerous than a lot of people think, and a lot of psychology has been put in and designed into it just to capture your attention. And when your time don't ever belong to you, that's where you will feel the lack of purpose. You will start to question yourself. And that's how I've been feeling all throughout. I have already uninstalled social media. I actually did the advice that I am giving out right now. And it actually made my life better in a sense. Because I did manage to get rid of the anxiety related to it. So that's why I'm sharing about it today. I would definitely still feel anxiety of being in debt for the rest of my life. But that's another topic to talk about. Anyways, if you really want to take charge of your life, social media, getting rid of it, or maybe limiting the usage of it, would be the best way to do so. And that's something that you guys will be able to control. And anyway, thanks for listening to my thoughts, and hopefully this would help you guys as well. And see you guys in the next video.